Folks, I want to welcome you to this video. It's just an informal talk about my now defunct GoPro Hero 8 Black that bit the dust last night during my cooking show. And this little gem right here, I mean, it's been a trooper for the roughly 3 months that I've had it, and I've used this thing every day. I mean, pretty much 90%, 95% of our videos have been filmed on this little bitty tiny camera since I got it. I think around, what was it, November? 1 November? Roughly 3 months I've had it. So I'm just gonna, it's an informal talk. So if you're one of my normal subscribers, this probably is gonna be as boring as watching paint dry. But for everybody else who's, interested in the GoPro Hero 8 and the technical talk, I'm just going to put my experience out there. I made a few videos already about it, but now that the damn thing is toast, I just talk about my little 3-month experience with the GoPro Hero 8 Black. So, I had a GoPro back in the day. I think it was a GoPro Hero 4. It was, I bought it brand new, all the accessories, had a horrible experience with it. Couldn't get the thing to work. It locked up, it overheated, it wouldn't turn off, it wouldn't turn on. You think you're recording, you weren't. You come home, you're missing clips. It was a nightmare. It was a horrible piece of gear. So I got rid of it, gave it to my son where he could, basically it was a toy to put on his snowboard. So I was not a fan of GoPro, but I was using the DJI Osmo Pocket for my walking tours because it's a gimbal. It's a gimbal stabilized camera. The footage is great. The footage is great. It's good on the low light. The stabilization is still there. And this is about the DJI Osmo Pocket. But the audio sucks. And it's got the little pinhole mics. And the audio sounds like it's so treble, like it has no bass. And you can't hear anybody that's 2 feet in front of the camera. So it's good if you're walking around holding it right here. Other than that, the audio sucks. So it's not a good all-around vlogging camera. Certainly not an A-cam, unless you're just using it for the walking tours, narration. You're holding it right here. So I was looking for something with a little bit better audio. Started doing the research, listening, to the GoPro Hero 8 coming out. And, the GoPro Hero 7 and before, audio is shit. Audio is just not there. It's just typical crappy audio. But when I was listening to the Hero 8, I was like, holy shit, now they got some decent audio on an action cam, on a tiny camera. I don't have to hang an external mic on it. I can just use the audio internal to the GoPro, and oh, by the way, it's waterproof. Perfect. So I picked the thing up in Thailand at this store over at Central Festival. They had just got a box in that morning. I was lucky enough to scoop one up early on with the fear that this damn thing would not work. That it would be the same unreliable, works when it wants to kind of a toy that my first GoPro was. So I put this thing through the paces, went to work, and the thing worked pretty damn well. The audio is good. I didn't need an external mic. The stabilization is wonderful. The GoPro color profile is pretty damn good. So this piece of gear here, the camera mounted on this GoPro Max pole, this is what I've been working with. And this pole right here extends out long enough, and it's a tripod at the bottom here. This is all you need. I didn't need an extra tripod. I mean, this thing right here, just perfect setup. 2 pieces of gear, right? And I bought this little shorty pole, which a lot of people use, but that's as far as it goes. And it's just a flimsy little piece of plastic. I don't recommend this at all. This is just junk. But if you put it on that 22-inch GoPro Max pole, it's been a great piece of gear for me. Occasionally it has gotten so hot between the Philippine heat, the sun beating down on it when we're, you know, hiking in the mountains or what have you, and I'm running it over an hour, that it did glitch a few clips. I figured out the solution to that, and the solution is if you're running this thing out in the direct sunlight, you know, the heat of the tropics, and you're running it non-stop for an extended period of time, what you need to do is take a battery and run it down to about 50%. You run it down to about 50% and you pull it out, shit, and that battery is hot as hell. So what you do, you plop a fresh battery in there, it takes the temperature down, the thing will keep rolling. Burn that battery 50%, come back to this one that's cooled down, and I haven't had any clips glitch, I haven't lost any clips since I started using that method. So you don't want to run the battery all the way down. It just gets too hot, and that's when the thing will start glitching. So that's a little trick I learned. I can't really say anything bad about this little camera. You know, for what I paid for it, I think you can get it, what is it, like $350 now? $350. You know, this camera is good to go, stabilization, audio, right out of the box. All you need to do is buy a few extra batteries, and I'm not even complaining about the battery life. The battery life is great. Lasts over an hour on a battery. And I bought 5. If you got 5 batteries and a couple memory cards, you can run and gun all day long with this little jewel. So with that said, you know, last night I was doing a cooking show. It was sitting in my lap. I'm sitting in this chair. It took a header. And it was basically sitting there. It took a header straight down. Boom. Now the thing doesn't work. If I hold down this button, the little 8 will come on, but it doesn't work. But I know something's going on because if I just let it sit there, it heats up. It's draining the battery. So this morning what I did, I'm just fiddling with it. If I take the battery out and I plug in the power to the USB-C, the damn camera comes on like magic, it'll record. And you stick a battery in there and it says something up in the top right hand corner in red letters, you know, no battery or low battery, something like that. It won't recognize the battery. And I've tried all kind of different little things. I factory reset it, try to do the update, but it won't update because it says the battery's too low. And these are fresh batteries coming out of the charger. So it's not a software glitch. If it had just started doing this, I would say it's a software glitch. No, the thing took a header, 2 feet. 2 feet now. This is supposed to be a rugged action cam. 2 feet, hit the ground, and now it's fucked up. I can't use it. I'm not real happy about that. You would think the thing would be a little bit more rugged than taking a 2 feet drop and getting screwed up. So that's the negative thing I have to say about it. The other issue I had was the USB-C port right here is loose. And it was so loose that when I plug it in, you got to get kind of the right angle on the cable to get this thing to download footage. So now I have to pop out the memory card. Not a big deal, but it's just too easy to plug the damn thing in. So I kind of had a hardware fail from the beginning. This USB-C port is loose. It doesn't make a good connection. And now, after a 2 foot drop, the thing is a paperweight. Can I send it back to GoPro? Yeah, I certainly can, but I'm here in the Philippines. I don't even want to, right now I'm not even going to research how to send the son of a bitch back to get it fixed. I don't know if I can get it fixed here locally, or ship it off locally, or if I got to send it, you know, back to the US. When I shipped my kid a GoPro, I had to fill out, it got held up in FedEx because I didn't fill out 3 FCC forms about a damn used GoPro going back to the States. What a fucking nightmare. So for $350, is it worth my time and effort to figure out how to send this thing back. Where am I going to send it back to? Maybe you're dealing with customs issues. I don't fucking know. And you know, with the USB-C little loose thing, I mean, it's like it was a problem child from the start. I hate that this happened because I love this little camera and it goes everywhere I go and it films all of our videos. It's been a champion, other than now I'm sitting here making a video about my fucking GoPro doesn't work. Now, did I break it? Well, I guess, yeah, I'm responsible. I broke it, but 2 foot fall with an action cam, you don't expect that. Now, you know, I got this little rubberized thing. Maybe I've already explained that shit, I don't know. I could have kept this rubberized thing on here for a little added protection, but every time you go to take out a battery or take out the memory card, you gotta take this thing off. You gotta put it back on. You gotta take it off. You gotta put it back on. In hindsight, if I get another one, I will keep this little thing on here for added little piece of protection. Because maybe it wouldn't have broke if I had that little extra piece of silicone on there. I don't know. But the dilemma, let's go back. The dilemma about going with GoPro initially was the reliability. And the first one I had was horrible. It was, you couldn't even use it as a B cam. I mean, it was a toy. It worked when it wanted to. Now here I am, 3 months later, having a conversation about a hardware fail on the USB-C port, and now the thing took a header and it's broken. Folks, I've dropped my iPhone a million times. I'm sure you have too. Guess what? The thing still fucking keeps on ticking. It still records video and audio. And I've dropped that thing from a hell of a lot higher height than fucking 2 feet. My old Sony camcorder, that thing's been dropped several times. Kept right on working. Took a licking, kept right on ticking. And it's not an action cam. It's not waterproof. Now this big ass camera that I'm recording on right now, the Sony FDR AX100, I don't want to drop this thing because it's so damn heavy it's probably going to go into a million pieces. So we're kind of mixing apples and oranges with that. But the bottom line is I'm making a video because my GoPro's broke 3 months into it. Should I have known, based on my previous experience with the fucking GoPro, that it's just not a reliable piece of gear? Well, I'm just telling you what I've experienced. So, you know, mount, I guess I paid around $400 for it. If I buy a new one, I can get a new one for $350. And maybe I can get this one fixed. Maybe I give it another chance. I bought the waterproof housing. I've got 5 batteries. You know, I've got a few extra $100 invested in the ecosystem. But you know, 2 different experiences with GoPro, and it ends up in failure. When the thing works, it's fucking great. You know, can't say anything bad about it, but here I am disappointed with another piece of fucking gear I can't use. I almost bought that media mod, and if you have a GoPro Hero 8 and you're thinking about buying the media mod, I recommend you don't do it, because the audio coming out of the Hero 8 Black is good. It's usable audio. You don't need that little shotgun mic on there. That the samples I've heard, it's no damn different. The audio is better coming out of the internal microphones. The minute you put that into that media mod, it's not waterproof anymore. That's a huge deal. So $79 for that media mod to make your waterproof GoPro unwaterproof, no. Don't invest in that system. I don't think you need that or the flip up screen. You know, just holding this thing out here like this I've always been in frame. I don't need to see myself. It's a wide enough angle. You just hold it, point it general direction, and you're good to go. It's like a shotgun. You don't have to be precise. So you don't need that flip up screen. You don't need the that microphone, because it's not better. For me, it sounded worse than the internal microphone. And you certainly don't need to make your waterproof camera unwaterproof by spending an extra 79 bucks. Good try, GoPro, but the media mods, after you really think about it, they're useless. That's not why you carry this camera. The little light's waterproof, but you have to buy the media mod to mount it on there. The media mod is not waterproof. So you got to buy a third-party cage to put the GoPro in to mount the light on there to keep everything waterproof. Just not good design, not well thought out. If that shotgun microphone on that media mod was 100% improvement, well, by all means do it. I would say, like, if you had a GoPro Hero 7 or any of the previous ones, and that mod would fit it, well, yeah, it's going to be a huge improvement over the audio in the Hero 7. But the audio in the Hero 8 Black is fine the way it is coming out of the internal microphones. So what am I going to do? This has been my go-to camera, my all-around camera, especially because of the good audio. Now what do? Go back to the DJI Osmo Pocket? Well, I'll use that on walking tours, but the audio sucks. A few minutes ago, I just tried to shoot this video on the Sony RX100 Mark V, and with the heat outside, this son of a bitch lasted 3 minutes and it did a thermal shutdown. This is a useless piece of gear for video. It's okay at taking still photos, but if you're a YouTuber and you're into videography and making videos, RX100 is junk. I mean, who the hell makes 3-minute video clips and calls it a day? That's a wrap. You know? That thing right there was a $1,200 mistake. Certainly wish I hadn't bought that RX100 after I've dealt with it, you know, for a couple years now. It just sits in my bag. I take it out, I try to make it work, and it pisses me off. It goes back in the bag. I've threatened to either give it away or drop it in the middle of Subic Bay to get rid of it, just so it's out of my hair. So what am I going to use? Folks, I may just start carrying around this big ass Sony. It is heavy, it's like 2 bricks, but the thing is reliable. The battery will last forever. It doesn't overheat in the tropic environment, which I find myself in. And when I plug in this little badass lapel mic, this lavalier mic, the audio is wonderful. Stabilization is not going to be as good as the GoPro, but it may just be something I have to deal with, and that's what I do. But I'll say this, I'm tired of buying cameras, and I'm tired of looking at cameras, and I'm tired of researching cameras. I think everybody in the photography, the videography business, the YouTube business, we're all the same, right? You're always looking for that perfect camera. Most people just get a GH5, Panasonic GH5, and call it a day. Maybe that's what I should have done, and just learned how to autofocus the thing, because, you know, Panasonics, they don't know how to focus, and this is the year 2020. They can't autofocus on $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 cameras. And for me, that's just unacceptable. Yeah, I know if you're a professional video, you know, filmmaker, professional photographer, you're manual focusing anyhow. That's beside the point. This is the year 2020. A fucking camera of $4,000 with that much technology should be able to do a simple thing like autofocus. So you're never gonna convince me, oh, you don't need autofocus. Bullshit. Okay, if I want the thing to autofocus, it's the year 2020. My fucking iPhone can autofocus. All right, my 10-year or 7-year-old camcorder can autofocus. So I really would like to have a Panasonic S1H, but the damn thing can't autofocus, so there's no way I'm giving you $4,000. All right, so folks, enough about the rambling. This isn't a GoPro bashing video, because I've certainly enjoyed using this damn thing. I certainly enjoy the way the footage looks and the way the audio sounds, and it's so easy. You know, I stick this in my bag, I stick it in my pocket. If I need to go hands-free, I just stick this thing like in my belt, and I can go hands-free with it. It has been a great little piece of gear. But the end result after 3 fucking months is that it's broken. It's broken in a 2-foot drop accident that I don't think it should have broke. If I was coming down the side of a mountain on a mountain bike and the thing took 80 fucking tumbles, you know, and fell 100 feet, okay, well, I expect it to be broke. But I don't expect the thing to break and when it just falls out of my lap sitting in a chair. I'm not happy about that. So overall, am I disappointed? A little bit. I'm disappointed a little bit. You know, over the USB-C port being fucked up from the beginning, and now 3 months later, one little drop put my shit out of commission. And the fact that tomorrow or the next day, we're headed up to some islands to hang out. You know, gonna be on some pump boats, doing some snorkeling, some swimming, what have you. And my fucking action cam, my waterproof action cam, is out of action. So that pisses me off too. But you know, GoPro, if you're listening to this, you know, when the thing worked, it's great. So if you want to send me a brand new one, you go to my website under contact and you just ship me one, and I'll certainly appreciate it, and I'll make a video about it. But for me to try to go through the repair process, I'm in the Philippines, you know, next month I might be in another country. What am I gonna do? Go through all this fucking hassle, boxing this thing up, shipping it out, wasting my day, wasting my time. Maybe or maybe not, it's covered by warranty. I don't have time for all that shit. You know, it's easier for me just to drop $350 and get a new one and keep rocking on. But that sucks to have to do that, you know. So anyhow, anybody over there at GoPro, you want to send me a brand new one, I certainly appreciate it. markblackard.com, go to contact. My address, my mailing address is on there. It'll eventually catch up with me. Here in the Philippines, I'll eventually get my hands on it. And once I get it, then I'll ship you the old one back. How about that? You can have this one right here. I'll send it back to you. That way I can just rock on with my operations and I don't got to spend all day figuring out how to ship this shit out to you. Going online, filing a claim, fuck all that. Who's got time to do that shit? You know, I didn't even buy this thing in the Philippines. I bought it in Thailand. And you leave the United States, you don't just walk back into Walmart or Best Buy and say, hey, it's broke, I want my money back, or can you replace it? Shit like that, it don't work like that outside the West. And it equates to time and hassle. I would just rather pick up one of my other cameras and just fucking drive forward and not waste my time on trying to get this thing sent in for repair or warranty. And you might say that's lazy, but you know, it's all about, is the juice worth the squeeze? And for me, it's not. I'd rather just fucking keep on rocking on. I got other cameras, and I'm not buying another camera until I break every fucking camera I've got in my arsenal, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I got 5 cameras in my arsenal. I'm not buying another camera until I break every one of these motherfuckers out in the field. And as they break, I'm gonna drop them in Subic Bay, go to the next camera. And when I break that last motherfucking camera, then hopefully by then the Panasonic S1H has figured out how to autofocus, and then I'm gonna drop some big money and get that camera, because it's a badass camera. The specs are badass. But until you can prove to me that you can autofocus, it ain't gonna happen. And until I run through all these cameras in my arsenal and they become obsolete or broken, you know, pieces of plastic and metal, I'm not spending any more money on fucking cameras. That's just the way it is. Well, folks, I want to thank you for joining me on this informal talk about the demise of my beloved GoPro Hero 8 Black. It's been a champion. It's been a champion. If you're thinking about buying one, the Hero 8 Black versus like the Hero 7 or the DJI Osmo Action, this is the way to go, because the audio is usable. The audio is usable. You don't have to add an external microphone. The audio sounds good with a little bit of bass in it. My Osmo Pocket, it sounds like they got the treble turned way up and there's zero bass. From what I've heard of the Osmo Action, it's similar. My RX100, straight up treble. No bass in your voice whatsoever. It just doesn't sound real. It sounds like, you know, shit coming out of a video game. So if you're thinking about getting one, any action cam, well, audio's more important than video. And they got the audio down on that, and the camera's still waterproof. But that's my experience. Maybe you got a GoPro and the thing lasts for, you know, 3-4 years. I got bad luck. My shit it just happens like that for me. But folks, thank you for joining me on this talk. And, you know, GoPro, I don't wear skinny jeans, so I guess I can't never be a sponsor with your company. I'm not a skinny jean wearing surfer. But if you would like to send me a new one, I do use your product every day on this channel, trying to squeak out a living on YouTube. You can send me a new one. I certainly appreciate it, and I'll do a video about it. But if not, I guess that's the end of the era of shooting YouTube videos on a GoPro. And I'll be toting around this big ass camera with this Manfrotto, what's a 290 light tripod, but it's not light. This shit is a heavy setup. And I'll just roll strong. I'll just roll heavy from now on. I'll just keep it on the tripod, and everywhere I go, I'll be creating a scene. But fuck it. At least I know this thing's gonna work. It's not gonna do a thermal shutdown. It'll keep recording until the cows come home. And that's what I'll use. Folks, I'll see you on the next video, next live stream, next adventure. And, you know, to my GoPro, I'm gonna retire you into obscurity. And it's been nice knowing you. Thanks for all the good footage and the good videos. Rest in peace, my friend. We'll see you on the flip side. All right, peace out, everyone.